Hey guys, Ivy Lee here of Ivy Lee Gaming. I normally am bringing you content regarding Raid, Shadow Legends, and eventually Summoner's Glory. I do stream on Twitch as well, but right now we're going to do something a little bit different. So right now I wanted to show you a video. This is actually just a screen record of me going through an edit. Here in Photoshop, I'm using the latest version of Photoshop through the Adobe Creative Cloud system, and I'm kind of talking through a little bit of how I edit a thumbnail. Now, there's plenty of template programs out there or websites for creating a YouTube template, but honestly, nothing that I do in Photoshop for creating a YouTube thumbnail is very hard, so I figured instead of just giving this one video to the person who asked me for advice on this, I figured I'd put it out as a YouTube video because why not? I'm sure other people could learn from this. I'm sure I'm doing a lot wrong myself, let's be honest. I am a photographer first, not a graphic designer, but it's not too hard to think about how things will lay out visually. It's also not too hard to work with the layers and blending modes here in Photoshop. Now, this is not an intense detail-oriented video where I explain all the features that I'm using, but I do go through things fairly quickly and simply to show you how to make a thumbnail pretty quickly. So hope you enjoy this video. I can try to put out more things like this in the future. Yeah, and random note, Princess Leia buns. This was a Twitch redemption. And I also just realized I'm not wearing my glasses. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy my video. Okay, I'm going to go through my process as quick as I can, but still mentioning everything. So I've just opened up some files here. I'm going to crop first to make sure that they are, to crop out my Play on Play logo real quick. And they should still be at the 6:12, or what is it, 16:9 ratio here. You select that, and if it goes this way, you can just twist it around here. Okay. So I think I'm going with this one for my thumbnails. So what I do is first thing I pull in is my personal logo. So let's see, logos, Ivy Lee Gaming, boom. Let's Control A, Control C, let's copy that and paste it in. So I gotta resize this down. So make sure you're on the layer over here on the right. Then go to Edit and then Free Transform. And then you can just drag it down. So I want this to pop more. Oops, I mean hit the check mark at the top here. Okay, and you can actually use the arrows if you want to just lightly, your arrow keys to lightly move it around. So I want this to pop more on this background, so what I do is right click, go up to blending options, and then I go to outer glow. You check that box, and then I let it be normal, opacity 100, and then, sorry, everything's popping up on my other window. We go to black. So that's, I like it to spread though, so we're gonna make it bigger, so it's softer spread, there we go. So you could like really play with how this, if it's like, does it spread a lot or does it look solid? You can kind of play with that with this, and all of these kind of, you could play with it. And then depending on the background, I'll do the same thing with my other text, but I think that works for now. That makes the back, this will make it pop. It might be a little big, I might change that later. Next thing I'm going to do is pull in my Raid Shadow Legends logo. So I'm just, I like to just, you can also place things embedded, but I like to just open it up. I find it easier in case you need to resize. It's a lot easier. So like in my Raid logo that I saved is huge. So we're going to go to Games, my Raid folder, Logos. I saved this Raid logo. So this is huge, so I'm just gonna make it smaller. Let's just make it whatever. Okay, so Control A, Control C. Oop, that's not the right one. Paste that in. Still too big, so let me just, same thing, edit, free transform. Let's get that down a bit. I actually think I might want to put my text here. Or no, some text will be here. I don't know. Probably over here, so I think I'm going to put this right here. So again, we're gonna make that pop. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna right click, go to blending mode, and remember the last thing you did. So I think that works. It's not perfect. It could be a little bit big. Maybe I make it bigger. Let's see. If we transform, let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Keep it in mind that this is going to be a little thumbnail. So like you can kind of zoom in, zoom out. I'm holding Control button down or Alt down and using my mouse wheel to like kind of get a feel for it. Okay, so now for my text, I just go to the side here and I hit text, and you can any fonts that you add to your computer will show up here. You could also add fonts through Adobe, but I always start with my white. Do I start with my white font or black font? Shoot, what do I normally do? I actually don't know. Well, all right. So this is 2 times. For me, I'm doing 2 times ancient. Oops, cap lock. No. 2 times ancients. I think I normally do black, to be honest. Let's go black. Select all of it and go black. Now you have to make sure you can't, if you want to change it, you have to make sure it's selected or else see it doesn't change it. So make sure you select it, or yeah. Okay, I think that font size is actually okay. All right, so and same thing, we're going to make this pop. So this time we're going to go blending mode, and instead of going black, we're going to go white. So I'm going to just hit that color. And boom, there we go. And I think I like this when it doesn't, when it's solid. You can adjust the size of it, so I just see it outlines it. 2 times ancients. Every time I look at that word, it doesn't look like it's spelled right now, right? So, and then I'm gonna do my font in white. For the other one, just to alternate, this is just what I do. Don't copy, I mean, obviously don't copy me exactly. I'm just gonna, it'll give you an idea using the program though. So this is my claw and viewer shard pulls. Or pulls. I don't know what I do. Claw and viewer pulls. I don't know what I normally do. But this is, I don't know where I'm going to put stuff. So this is always the fun part, is figuring out where to put it on the, around everything. Usually I put it at the bottom, but it's not going to work. Unless I could move some things around. You know what? All right, let me select this. Let's make the font a bit smaller. It's gonna be too small, probably. Shard. I'll do claw and viewer shard pulls, and that can go right here. I could also maybe move my personal logo above my head, although I don't like to have my face by my face. But you just kind of have to design it and like try to line things up. So let's say we wanted to line these 2 up. You can select the 2 layers, like Control and hold them both down, just like selecting images. You go to this moving thing at the top and look at this will auto center. Right up here, this will auto align left, auto align right, whatever you want. So at least you can know things visually are sort of lined up. I also like to, actually I want to move up the RAID symbol so that looks like it's auto aligned with this as well. Just visually as a graphics design, keep that kind of stuff in mind. Okay, so now my claw and viewer shard pulls. Apparently I had cap locks on, but it doesn't matter because this font is all caps anyway. I'm going to go back and do the opposite. We're going to go back to black just to outline it. I think I want it to be a little bit bigger. It looks a little small. There we go. Claw and viewer shard pulls. Although this is not, the font is not centered. I wanted it centered. That doesn't look very centered. Is it because I have a space? Weird. There we go. Okay, that looks actually better. Although I feel like I want it to be a little tighter with this, depending around the graphic. Or do I want to just center it? Could just center it and maybe make it a little bit bigger. Let's go 80. Oops, Control A, select all of it. And then make this 80. Yeah, why don't I do that? Why don't I center these? It's just kind of, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to figure out. Alright. Although I don't really have anything too crazy going on here visually, so I don't think that's too distracting. Or maybe I should make this black and this white. I think I actually might do that. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to go black here, right click, change my outer glow to white. There we go. That's going to stick out more against this bright, although I don't like it now. This is the fun of playing around with this, right? Get back down to outer glow. Let's make this a little bit, or no. I feel like maybe I'll just soften it a little with range. There we go. All right, and then my 2x ancients, I'm gonna make that font. If you just click here, you don't have to select it within it. Make that white, and let's go make this outer glow black. So that's one thing you can do with playing around with the fonts. There's also so many other things. You can emboss things, see, to give it like that 3D effect. You can make it look really deep, like, see, that's looks super 3D. That's kind of cool. I should do that more often. But there's so many different ways you can emboss. You can do inner bevel, emboss, like different stuff depending on outer bevel, which that looks really cool with this actually. There's lots of options, but if you do something, you could just uncheck it if you don't want to save it. I think the outer glow needs to be a little bit bigger now for this. There we go. I think that's fine. Okay, now the last thing that I do is I like to put a border on mine. There's so many ways you can do a border. Personally, I just go to canvas size. I know based on mine, I know that the pixel size of 20 usually looks good. And then I got a border. But personally, I do a second border. I do a triple border thing. It's just my thing that I like doing at the moment. It may change in the future when I think it looks cheesy. I'm sure I'll. So when you go to select a color, you can just eyedrop onto your background. So I'm gonna make this match my logo. Same thing, 2020, boom. It's expanding the canvas size, and again, we're expanding the canvas size. See this expanding relative, and you choose pixels, 2020, and then going back to black. So I have my little border with, there we go, and boom, that's good to go. So let's say if I changed my mind about the picture I wanted, Control Copy, I could just paste this in here, drag this layer down to where the other one is, and kind of debate, you know, like, do I like this one better or this one better? And then of course I'd have to move things around if I chose this one, but, or if you're about to do multiple things, you might have the same exact template. You could save this as a template and just kind of copy and paste your screenshots of what you're working with. Personally, I use OBS and I create screenshots of myself. So I'm going to stick with this. I like this. I feel like something needs to be here, but it's fine. It doesn't have to be that busy with text. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go up and save as. First I'm going to save, you could save this as a PSD if you wanted this Photoshop PSD file that it will default to. You can do that if you want to make sure that you have all of these layers. It will save your layers so you can use this as a template in the future. So like I've done that before and I've saved like shard pole template. But I end up just redoing it every time, honestly, because text size is usually different, or it depends on what we're doing. But shard pole template, I probably should stick to the same one. All right, so what am I doing? We're going to videos, YouTube, thumbnails. All right, so I'm actually going to save this as a JPEG. So you go here, I'll choose regular JPEG, not JPEG 2000 as my thing. And then what is it? It's my shard poles 2 video, which I'm actually not going to do a 3. Usually I do a highlights, but. And then that is going to make, and that should be fine. I think this is supposed to be checked though. Why wasn't that checked? Pretty sure that should be checked. This sRGB, that's how you get the working RGB for things to, the colors to look right. And this will pop up, of course, just save it as the best quality you can. And there we go. And then I just say no to saving this because it's going to want me to save this PSD. So I just hit no. We already saved. As long as you save as, you're good. And then I can close all this. Woohoo! All right. And that's it. I'm sure that was a lot to look at for not knowing the program yet, but hopefully you can get some tips there and just play around.